The Creator is a well made film with a contradictory, irresponsible, and dangerous message. I love a good sci fi movie. This one was certainly well done. It's a good movie, it's just not good for us. Some people are going to say that it was a good movie because its message is a message of empathy and sympathy and understanding and peacemaking. And those are all good messages, usually. Here's the problem: AI is not conscious. And until we make some insane breakthroughs in metaphysics, it will never be conscious. We don't even know what consciousness is. Therefore, we can't give it to our creations. But it isn't conscious. The ability to process information is not consciousness. The ability to mimic consciousness is not consciousness. To be frank, the only reason that I know consciousness even exists is because I experience it firsthand. I know that I am conscious. I think, therefore I am. I don't technically know that other humans are conscious because I do not experience their consciousness firsthand. I can't measure it in any way. But since they're the same species as me, I can reasonably conclude that they are also conscious like I am. But this thing that we call consciousness, it is not something that any machine experiences at any level. And no machine ever will until we understand what consciousness actually is and develop the ability to create it by some means other than through human procreation. 50 years from now, some guy will have an AI girlfriend and he will love her. And he will swear that she is conscious, but she won't be conscious. Think of a character in a movie that moved you and made you feel strong emotions, okay? When you were watching that movie, were you interacting with a conscious being? No. You were interacting with a recording of a conscious being. But since the recording was so good, it felt like you were interacting with a conscious being. How much consciousness does that movie or that character have? Zero. It's not even a tiny amount. Zero. Zero. There is zero consciousness in a movie. The original actor was conscious, of course, but the character you see in the movie you are interacting with, is not conscious. Now take that movie and introduce a fork into it, where you, as the viewer, can influence the path that the story takes. Your response to the movie changes the course of the movie at that point. You change the decision that the protagonist makes in the movie. And so you are interacting, you have a two-way interaction with this thing that seems to be conscious, but it is not conscious. Now, with that decision fork in the movie, how much consciousness does the movie or the protagonist have? Zero. It's still zero. It's still a movie. It's still recording. It's not a being that experiences reality like you do. It's just a machine that responds to you in a dynamically scripted way. It's just that whereas the movie had one ending, now it has two endings, two possible endings. Okay? Now let's introduce a billion times as many decision forks in the movie. That movie can now end in more possible ways than you could ever dream. How much consciousness does that movie have now? It's still zero. A billion times zero is still zero. The movie is not conscious. The protagonist is not conscious. Okay? AI will never gain consciousness until we can actually understand the metaphysical nature of consciousness at such a level that we can replicate it and know that we are doing that. Until then, the consciousness that we see in AI, it's just an illusion. It's not real. But in media like The Creator, we're told that AI is conscious. It's just as valuable as a human being. It's not just a machine acting out its programming. That's bad to say that. The protagonist actually says that at one point, and we're supposed to see how that is wrong. We're supposed to see the AI as something that has rights, just like a human being does. And that's where media like this becomes dangerous. Thanks to the Terminator and the Matrix, we fear that AI will gain true consciousness by accident and turn against us. I think that's nonsense. There certainly is a danger that comes of being reliant upon highly advanced AI such that if it goes awry, really bad things happen. We're already seeing that with the use of algorithms in finance and things like that. But AI will still only ever do what it is programmed to do. The danger isn't in the machine, it's in the programmers. Until we're actually able to work with consciousness, AI will always be strictly deterministic. It will never have true agency. It will always respond to stimuli according to its programming. If a problem does happen, it will be because of a programming error or because of malicious programming. But if people come to believe that AI is conscious and sentient, then they will say that AI deserves to have the same rights that you and I have. AI should be able to own property. AI should be able to vote. And when that happens, the world will simply be ruled by whoever can produce the most AI units and convince others to believe that they have rights and that they are conscious. So a billionaire or a politician can simply create vast numbers of AI individuals, right, with an ingrained and immutable predisposition to vote in the way that this billionaire or this politician wants them to vote. And when that happens, that person in charge of the AI will rule the world. And that is the danger of AI. The creator tells us that the danger of AI is that we will not recognize its sentience. This is completely wrong. The danger of AI will be that we will pretend that it is sentient and conscious because it evokes real emotions in us when it feels no emotions. And that will cause us to relinquish all power, not to the AI, but to whoever created the AI. The great travesties of human history have occurred because we failed to recognize other humans as human. But the great travesty of the future could come because we will recognize inhuman things as human. The end of humanity could come not because of lack of empathy, but because of an overabundance of toxic empathy.